Nod-Krai's bringing new characters, artifacts and weapons, and as a result, there's a bunch of units being buffed. Stick around for the whole video because there are some unexpected surprises. Before we carry on, I'm doing a Welkin giveaway in my Discord. There'll be 10 winners and each one gets to choose either a Welkin for Genshin, supply pass in Star Rail, or a daily pass for whichever gacha you play the most. My sponsors Loot Bar were kind enough to provide them and they said if it goes well, they're happy to fund a giveaway every month. We take those. If you've seen my other videos, you know Loot Bar are a top-up website that do Genesis crystals and Welkins up to 25% cheaper than in-game. To be honest, most people I know that top up, myself included, we only top up with Loot Bar because we've been doing it for years and there's been no issues with our accounts. It's fully trustworthy, check the Trustpilot reviews if you want to because we have over 20,000 positive reviews, and all you need is your UID and server, no login details. I've left a link in the description if you want to check them out, and there's also a link to my Discord for the giveaway, so make sure to join it if you want to win a Welkin. Let's get straight into it with King Kaveh of House Sumeru. Lauma's release means he has a new best team. He can self-sustain even with Lunar Bloom, but Xingqiu gives another small layer of comfort. Kaveh will hold Deepwood, Lauma has Serenade, Naloo on a 2-piece, and Xingqiu on Flower of Lost Paradise. If you find the team needs more energy, you can give Kaveh Favonia's Greatsword, but if the team's okay for energy, give him the 5.8 Event Claymore. It gives him 165 Elemental Mastery, and when he triggers Lunar Bloom, he'll get another 120 Elemental Mastery for 15 seconds. It also recovers 24 energy. If you have Zyphos on Xingqiu, building him for Elemental Mastery will give himself and the team energy recharge too. I'm a big fan of Kaveh, as I know a lot of people are, but up to now I've been underwhelmed by his power in the meta, as I know a lot of people have. I'm sure we'll get a more powerful driver for this team in the future, but it's nice to know Kaveh has an actually good team now. Quick question, what do Ned Flanders and Tignari's old voice actor have in common? They can't stop diddling. Tignari's got a new neighborino in Lauma, and with his able to choose him from both the anniversary gift and the free constellation thing, he's looking okily dokily. Typically, Tignari's a spread DPS, but Farina's such a good support that playing him in Hyperbloom might be the way to go. His constellations have never been more obtainable, so the crit rates from his C1 is nice, the dendro damage from his C2 as well, elemental mastery for the team from his C4, and turning him into a machine gun with his C6 is the dream. Picking a standard from the constellation thing though? I just can't dang dan diddly dan dang ding dong diddly dan do it. Either way, Lauma fits him nicely.
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all.
Quit it!
I know everyone's been riding Mawika for what seems like forever, just like Mawika rode a motorbike in my story animation, but I'll always prefer Arlecchino. It's nice to see her get a new character in Ino, and it's a big win for those that don't have C6 Candace. Basically, the value C6 Candace has over other Hydro units in Arlecchino teams is she can apply Hydro quickly in an AoE. Ino can do that, and quickly enough to not struggle keeping up with Ineffa's Electro application. The team would be Arlecchino, Ino, Ineffa, Bennett. Arlecchino's gonna get a bunch of vapes and overloadeds off. Ino's C1 also gives Arlecchino some elemental mastery, which is a stat we shouldn't neglect on our Arlecchinos, but the reality is most of us do in favour of crit. Ino makes that decision less punishing while also holding Instructor for another 120 elemental mastery. This team actually has me hyped up for Columbina because people are speculating she might replace Ino in Nod-Krai teams. I really want Arlecchino and Columbina to have synergy, and I know I'm not the only one, so Nod-Krai is looking like a big one for us Arlecchino fans. Candace is one of my favourite designs in the game, and since her release she's consistently getting buffed with several new units. Xian Yun gave her a plunge team, Arlecchino gave her a good team to make use of his C6, if you don't have a C6 she's good for Mualani too. Nod-Krai's given her 2 new 5 stars to play with. Starting with Flins, he wants Hydro application from units with a short cooldown. Candace does that with a 15-second cooldown on her burst, and she can hold the new support set for him. As for Lauma, people did play Candace in Bloom teams when Yao Yao came out, so putting Lauma in for Nahida is a buff to that team. You'd probably prefer Xingqiu over Candace, but she's prettier, so she gets my vote. Naloo seems to get new units to synergize with fairly frequently. I know she wasn't a good DPS when she launched, but now with Shalonen and Farina in a mono Hydro team, a Scoffia and Seatlally in a Freeze team, and a Nefer in Lunar Charge team, she does the business even though she's not S tier. She excels as a Bloom support though, and Nod-Krai's bringing Bloom back in a different font. Literally, in the form of Lunar Bloom with Lauma. People have been begging for a free-to-play HP sword for Nulu since 3.1 and the devs are finally giving people what they want. The Nod-Krai craftable, Serenity's Call, gives 61 energy recharge from the secondary stats, but also up to 64% HP from the passive. For those that don't have either of the only 2 HP swords currently in the game, that's going to be big for your Nulu. Every other patch gives this dusty wet salamander a new unit, and this one's no different with him having a solid Hyperbloom team now, cause why not? Playing his older teams without Nod-Krai units might have been an issue going into Nod-Krai with enemies having new mechanics. He worked with an effort, but being able to put Lauma in there too, with Farina in the last slot, gives us a strong team that will likely counter any new mechanics. He's good against the Cactus, will also be good in Lunar Charge teams against Knuckle Duckle that we saw in the livestream. Being able to synergize with Lauma covers more ground and it makes it more likely he'll stay relevant throughout the whole of Nod-Krai. Sucrose is one of the biggest beneficiaries of 6.0 because you can play her with all the new units. Once Kazuha came out in 1.6, she was relegated to a lesser used role and sometimes even just the bench. Kazuha's elemental damage buff is usually better than Sucrose's elemental mastery buff, but with Lunar Charge not needing elemental damage and instead wanting elemental mastery, Sucrose is better in Flins teams. I don't think she's the best unit for Lauma, but if you're struggling for teammates for her, being able to slot Sucrose in there as a makeshift flex is an option. I do think she'll get even more teammates throughout Nod-Krai though, with the emphasis being on elemental mastery as opposed to the elemental damage buff you get from Kazuha. Yao Yao is another character getting some love this patch. To be honest, I think she's a really sweet character and it's nice to see her when she makes an appearance at Lanternrite. Unfortunately, she doesn't get much play in people's teams, but I think that's going to change in Nod-Krai. Bloom was already one of the best uses, but the introduction of Lunar Bloom takes it up a level. Assuming you're running Lauma on Deepwood and Aino on Serenade, with Xingqiu off field holding Flower of Lost Paradise, Yao Yao can hold 4-piece Instructor and drive the team with Favonius Lance. Lauma also buffs Burgeon, and with Yao Yao being one of the better sustain units for Burgeon teams, now might be the best time to level her if you haven't already. Sticking with Dendro healers, we have Baizhu. I'm a massive fan of Baizhu, and from the moment we first saw him all the way back at launch, I couldn't wait to pull him. Him being towards the end of Sumeru kinda sucked though, cause by the time a few patches had passed, he'd fell out of the meta. Lauma is his medicine though, giving him a new reaction in the form of Lunar Bloom. You can grab him a constellation completely free as well. His C1 gives him an extra charge of his skill, which means you can build less energy recharge and more HP to drive his buff higher from his passive. Now he just needs a rerun for those that don't have him. Inefa only just came out and she's fine, but currently she's one step away from really being top tier because she's missing some synergies which we expected. In the next patch she's getting 2 great ones with Flins and Lauma. She's going to be in all of Flins' best teams, and as we already mentioned, she can work in Hyperbloom teams with Lauma too. Looks like Aino might need to get a new Hoover. So that was at least 10 units getting buffed in Nod-Krai. Drop a comment if I missed any, because I not only read all my comments, but I try to reply to them all too. I put out Flins, Aino and Lauma guides already, and during the week I'll be revisiting the standard 5 stars that you could choose for your anniversary gift. Just a reminder to join the Welkin giveaway in my Discord if you're interested, and take it easy.